is on some of the other training? And is that multiple locations, or is it consolidated? Can you give us a sense?
Sure. My understanding is the bulk of the training on these new systems will be done by the Florida National Guard, but I don't want to preclude the option that on systems coming in that we might provide additional training capabilities that maybe the Florida National Guard doesn't have. So they'll do the bulk of it, but I'm not going to go so far as to say that all of it will be done just by the Florida National Guard. What I can tell you is that we're talking about roughly 3 locations outside of Ukraine, and in this case, we definitely can identify Germany as a site, but there are other sites outside Ukraine, and we're just not at liberty to disclose where they are. Those sites could change over time. Either we move to different ones or we add additional ones. We just don't know. But training has already occurred outside Ukraine, and particularly on the howitzers. There's another class going on right now on howitzers. In fact, 2 different tranches are being trained on howitzers right now. One of them we can confirm is in Germany. So we want to make this as nimble and as agile as we can. And we also want to make it not only useful and constructive for the Ukrainians, but not onerous. You know, that it doesn't, that it's not so time-consuming that it takes them out of their fight for too long, as you might imagine.
Thank you for watching.
They're eager to
Sorry
learn
for the
these new
movement.
skills, but they're also eager to apply.
And we have one hand.
In the conflict.
Please subscribe and hit that like button and comment. What do you think about all this?
There has been no extension decision made on
this is an open channel. All comments are welcome.
They arrived in Ukraine at the very tail end of last year, early December-ish. So they are still on their original set of orders.
Jeff. Hi, John. Happy Friday. I wanted to ask you about the former Marine who was killed in Ukraine, Willie Joseph.
God bless him and his family.
Pronouncing his name correctly. But he was reportedly employed by a military contractor. Was that company contracted with the Department of Defense?
Not that I'm aware of.
Let's show our support
Does
from
the Department of Defense have any contractors working in Ukraine?
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah.
John, can you enumerate any more of the donations that came out of the conference earlier this week with the 40 nations? Anything else concrete that you can point to?
There were some additional contributions, but those nations have decided that it's best for them to either talk about it or not, and so we want to respect that. I mean, the Secretary at his press conference afterward detailed what he could, and again, these are sovereign decisions that we want to be respectful. But the bottom line is, yes, there were additional nations who had additional contributions that they stated that they plan to make, and again, we're going to leave it to them to speak to them.
And what more can you tell us about what's happening in Moldova, and can you deter Russia from going into Moldova? What would happen if Russia were to actually move in to that area?
So look, we're aware of these explosions that happened in the Transnistria region of Moldova. We do not have much information about what caused those explosions, who was responsible, what the motive was. And look, the farther away we get from them, probably the less fingertip feel we're going to have in terms of what actually happened. We